Jews of Lubomel led a strict Orthodox life. But after World War I, new ideas began to influence them, especially the young people. It was not long before such movements as Zionism and socialism found many supporters in the shtetl. During the 1920s and 30s, political parties were a dynamic force in Lubomel's Jewish social life. Of all these Zionist parties, the most active were the youth organizations, HaShomer HaTzayir, Hechalutz, and Beitar.
I was belonging to Beitar, especially Beitar. Beitar was to fight and to work. The Chalutzim was to work and to fight, but Beitar was special to fight. I have a blouse with a hat like army hat, and was marching in the streets.
We used to march, we used to do exercise a little bit once in a while on Sunday.
If they wanted to go to Palestine to work the land, those from Lubomel and elsewhere had to train for 1 year at a special camp in Poland.
When I was, I think, about 15 years old, we had camps that we have to go from different towns. We met together in a village. Girls were also there. So we weren't not singles, there were beautiful girls there. So that was give us a sense of life. And, that was an important time of my life.
Life in the Zionist training camps could be difficult. They worked in the fields and the flour mill, the lumber yard and the railroad. Some worked chopping trees and sorting rags.
I belonged to a Zionist organization, so they used to meet once a week, you know, and have lectures or whatever about Zionism, about Israel.
Especially Saturday after Saturday meals, till night, you meet the Jews. And later, when you meet them in the clubs, the Chalutz club and Beitar, talking and singing and happy, and who was thinking there come something like this? A few years later, there will be nothing left in the city.
We received every day a journal, a Yiddish journal.
In our house came in the Moment. Moment was 2 newspapers, Eint and Moment.
People were so poor that, let's say, 2 families bought a newspaper. One had them in the morning, one had them in the afternoon.
What happened in Kristallnacht was in all the Jewish papers. We didn't call it Kristallnacht, we called it the reading of the Jews, but we didn't understand, it did not sink in. But we knew it was something terrible, it was a signal for bad or worse. Then at that time, the Polish anti-Semites raised their ugly head.
They subjected the Jewish merchants to taxes and to all forms of discrimination.
There's no future in Poland, you see. No work for young people. That's all the young people could do, is sit in the libraries and read and carry on discussions among themselves.
In the moment we knew it was not the purpose, it was not the future of ours. I believe that in our time, in the 30s, Lubomel was on a downtrend.
This is a letter written by my uncle Jaske, written November 23rd, 1937, to my uncle here in New York. He tells him how terrible things are. It's simply that one goes around so beaten down by melancholy and fear about tomorrow that it is as if one's hands have been amputated. Can you understand at all what we Polish Jews are going through? No, 1,000 times no.
There was maybe 3 or 4 radios in the whole city. And we listened, we wanted to hear what's going on. We used to go stay under the window, and the radio was loud, and we used to hear that. We had no radio. We know what Hitler is. He didn't like the Jews. The Jews as second-class citizens.
educated. They ran all places while the gates were still open, while the country were not locked and shut. They ran wherever they could, east, west, north, south. Most of them ran to America. A lot ran to Palestine. Some ran to Russia. Some ran to France and England and Australia. You name it, they're Lubomel people.
I think all the youth of Lubomel would leave. I felt everything was closed for a Jew. Everything, that we were shocked. The only place I wanted to go, and I could go, was to go to Palestine then.
The day of Aliyah, when trained pioneers left for Palestine, was a big holiday for the town's youth.
They told me that I received the permit to go to Palestine, so they took me to the train, and that was the last time that I saw my father. And my mother I didn't see before I left. And I think that was the only time that the only one moment that I can remember that my father embraced me and kissed me.
I went myself, I left Lubomel all by myself. With all my friends going to the train, to the railroad. I went by myself from Lubomel to Warsaw, from Warsaw to Gdańsk, from Gdańsk to Gdynia, and then to the United States.
If somebody left for America, the whole town came out to the train and cried. They didn't cry because they're leaving. They were happy for these people.
This is a scene at the railroad station in 1938 as we were leaving from Lubomel to America.
We went to the United States because my uncles felt there would be a better chance for my brother, myself, to grow up here. And as soon as we left, it didn't take long. Like the following September, Poland was invaded.